Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Entrepreneur TV Middle East. With me is the one and only Faisal. He is the managing director and partner in BCG. Thanks so much for coming over and speaking to us today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing? How's everything?
Fantastic. It's very energizing to be here today.
It's very nice to see that you're actually in Dubai. Probably you're traveling every week back and forth.
There's a bit of a busy schedule for traveling, but
Yeah.
Dubai is becoming a center of attention, especially for topics
Right.
like AI.
It's something that you picked lock and go to be a consultant though, so I think you're kind of used to it, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit. You're obviously working in the technology sector in BCG. Tell me a little bit about how that is developing here and in Saudi.
I think the region has a fantastic ambition when it comes to technology in general and the digital economy, but specifically about AI. There's no shortage of high-level ambitions and high-level strategies that are being articulated over the past couple of years. I think it's no secret to anyone that the region is looking to be a leader in AI, not only an absorber or an adopter of AI. Specifically and more recently, we've launched our AI survey that looks across the economies globally and kind of ranks them across their ambition, their strength of their ecosystems and other aspects. And both Saudi and UAE are among the what we call AI contenders. They co-lead in the MENA region, and there's quite a lot of, let's say, aspects of their ecosystems that make them very strong in that race.
In a way, do you think that we could actually, educate people how to use it? Because I feel like AI is growing on a daily basis. There's so many new things coming up, but there's so many generations, especially they're just still stuck somewhere in the back, still learning how to use ChatGPT. You know what I mean? How do you think there's that gap in education, and how do you think we can kind of like merge that?
Absolutely, this is spot on. I think the inclusivity of AI is going to be very important in the future because it's people who are going to have access to intelligence, not only a technology, it's access to opportunity, access to agency, and future reference and future relevance as well, right? So human capability building is going to be very important, but as well from the day-to-day use of AI, whether it's with citizens or whether it's with governments or also with enterprises, we usually advocate what we call a 10-20-70 rule. So 10% of the focus goes to algorithms and technology, 20% on the data, which is fueling that, but the big 70% should go to people, process, and change management. That soft aspect of AI transformation and how people use it is often overlooked in the hype of AI and AI agents that we're hearing a lot about today. People often forget about the 70% that will actually make the difference.
Right. It's so funny that you're speaking percentages because as a consultant, you have everything literally printed out.
We have to put it in buckets. We have to put it in buckets.
I can see the Excel sheet in front of your face literally talking about it. But tell me one more thing. Is it easier to be in a country like Dubai and a country like Saudi? There's a lot of support from the government when it comes to AI. One of the only, if not the only country in the world that has the Ministry of AI. Would you say that acts as a huge support for people like you?
Absolutely. Look, I think the main ingredients for success, whether it's in AI or other technologies, other businesses, continues to be the same. Those are around ideas, talent, and capital.
Sure.
And if you think about these and the support that's coming from the government to bridge those, this is fantastic in this region more broadly, and as you rightly mentioned, specifically in Saudi and in UAE. I think the main philosophy behind this is to reduce the cost of innovation and make that more accessible for broader people. One of the main challenges, for example, in AI is to have access to infrastructure, which is not accessible generally, but also costly. And as you look for example, large language models where you need to train huge amounts of data, use a lot of resources and infrastructure and invest in that, the cost of innovation becomes higher. And effectively what those programs from the governments are trying to do is to actually make this innovation more accessible to people. Because with that combination, you solve for the talent and talent will solve everything else for you, right? So that's kind of the motto for how things have been going.
100%. What sort of advice would you give, to all the other entrepreneurs out there or people in general who want to become powerful leaders one day, be even in your position? What sort of advice would you give them now when it comes to tech?
Look, I think I come back to the percentages that you like, the 10, 20, 70. I would say
I personally have a very different job. I do not like numbers, but I just find it very funny.
No, very good. But look, I would say, as you're building also technology companies, are you aspiring to be a leader in technology? Also think significantly about the soft aspect of technology, especially when you think about technologies like AI that are going to be much more ingrained into the jobs, whether they're augmenting or replacing or doing much more of that. Soft skills become much more important. Ability to lead, to think critically, to connect the dots across the systems and actually interact with people, understand, having the empathy, all of those aspects become much more important. So I would say, even if you're in technology, keep
human.
track of that process and change management. And as you said, exactly, be human.
Be human. Cool. I have a quick conclusion. Like, it's literally 6 very quick questions for you. Is this or that? So are you ready for them?
Let's go.
Perfect. Is AI more hype or substance right now?
Substance.
Who's winning the AI race, startups or big tech?
At the moment, big tech fueling the startups.
What's the most overrated AI tool out there?
I'd say ChatGPT is quite impressive, but it's overrated for what is to come if you think about the bigger picture in AI.
Right. That's an interesting answer. Should all founders integrate AI or only if it really fits?
I think there's no question whether AI is relevant or not. If you're not AI ready already today, you're going to be obsolete in a few years.
Is prompt engineering the new coding, in your opinion?
I would like to say so. We thought about coding the same way in 5 years or 10 years ago, and prompt engineering changed kind of the picture. But I would say definitely going to be very interesting, but I would broaden it to say human-machine interaction, whether it's through coding, through prompt engineering, through other ways, is going to be the new reality of how to interact in organizations.
Right. Will AI take more jobs than it creates? This is the drum roll question.
That's the billion-dollar question. Yeah. A lot of the studies say a significant portion of the jobs will be replaced. A significant portion of the people say, no, AI is going to just add to the jobs. I personally think that a lot of jobs are going to be replaced, so reskilled, and a lot of new jobs are going to be created. So net, we will see an increase in the number of jobs. However, in the type of relevance to those jobs, that would completely and fundamentally be different.
No, it's good that you said reskilled. I definitely don't think it's going to be some sort of exchange. It's about enhancing, our capabilities so that we don't waste our time doing certain things and just developing that rather than exchanging this, right?
Absolutely.
Last question for you. Should AI be regulated or it will kill the innovation?
That's again the ultimate balance. You're always getting the extremes of the question, but I'd say regulated in contained environments, so sandboxes, for example. A lot of the places like in healthcare and education, you cannot let AI just be in a full experimentation phase where there's a test and learn, there's a failure by design in that process. So containing the innovation in specific sandboxes, including multi-stakeholder participation from the government, from the private sector, from the citizens, is going to be probably the way to go.
Right. Absolute pleasure. I think your interrogation is over for today. Thank you so much for coming, and we wish you the best of luck on all of your projects, and keep teaching everyone how to be tech friendly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.